Well, she said she's magical, mystical, a powerful wonder girl.
The Canadian Liver Foundation's Stroll for Liver event is coming up on Saturday, June 2nd. It's a family-friendly, community-based walk/run dedicated to raising funds for liver research and education. Now, joining us in studio now are two women with an incredible story. Please welcome Shirley Nunez, a former PBC patient and liver transplant recipient, and Lisa Mena, Shirley's sister and liver donor. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having us.
Okay, so Shirley, you discovered you've been living with a rare liver disease back in 2004, just 30 years old. It's called PBC. That's primary biliary cirrhosis?
That's right.
Can you explain to us what that is?
It's an autoimmune disease, which it destroys the bile ducts. And so when I was diagnosed in 2004, I guess I was feeling like really sick, very lethargic, very tired, and had to go through numerous blood tests, liver biopsy as well. Mm-hmm. I had ERCP done through to the bile ducts. Mm-hmm. It's like cleaning of the bile ducts. And just through a lot of routine tests. And when I did the liver biopsy, that's when they gave me the final diagnosis that it was PBC, stage 2 at the time.
So what was it like for your family at that time?
Devastating. So when we got, I got the diagnosis, and at the time, my mom and husband were out with my 2 kids at the time, and we met halfway, and that's when I gave them the news, and there was a lot of tears, and then we all came back together, and we had a meeting, we had a family meeting, and the first thing you think is, okay, she's gonna die, or there was a lot of fear and not knowing what it is. What is PBC? Because we had no clue.
Well, you went from being perfectly healthy, no symptoms, to having really total liver failure. So, I mean, did you just wake up one day and it happened, or were there slowly signs that were creeping up? And when did that start? A year ahead?
That happened in 2004 after I had my second child. So I was perfectly fine. And I guess I started blaming my parents, and I thought, okay, is it their fault? Is it something that I did, something that I ate, something that I drank? Because people always think, oh, you have cirrhosis, and we took cirrhosis as, okay, maybe she drank too much or something like that, right?
Yeah. But it's not genetic.
But it's not genetic, no.
So then 10 years later, you couldn't have had this at the beginning of your illness, but 10 years later, your sister became your living donor. And now, Lisa, at the time, you were 5 months postpartum?
Yes, I was.
Right.
With your third child.
So
you had 2 other girls, 5 and 7.
Yes.
But no hesitation to start the process?
Not at all. Not at all. Actually, from the beginning, from when Shirley was diagnosed, I actually said, if we can do this now, let's do the transplant now. But unfortunately, it wasn't something that we could do at the time. They said, no, you have to wait till she's really ill, which is sad to say, but that's how they looked at it. So I said, okay, and then when it came time to, I said, I'm signing up for sure. It wasn't easy. I'll be honest. It was not an easy decision. Also, throughout the process, it was kind of hard. Thinking about my kids, my little one, she wasn't even a year old when I had the surgery. So it was hard. But there was no way that I could not do this for my sister and for my niece and my 2 nephews. It was like, they need their mother. And it was worse hearing stories that she would tell me and writing letters to the kids, if something was to happen to her. It was like, you're not needing to write letters. I'm like, you're silly, you're crazy, like your kids are going to see you. They're going to have you there. You're going to walk your daughter down the aisle. You're going to see your kids get married and go to college, university and all that. Yeah. So it was no hesitation whatsoever on my part.
Well, you're already close, your sisters.
Yes.
And it seems like you've always been close. Yeah. What has this done to your relationship?
Well, you feel like we've always been close. Like, there were many times when we were asked, are you twins? And we're like, yeah, we're twins, And we're 6 years apart. And I mean, you kind of, or for myself, you reground yourself and say, you know what? You appreciate that I only have my one and only sister, and you appreciate everything else more in life, you know?
Both of you have regained enough strength to take part in the Stroll for Liver event on Saturday, June 2nd. What are you looking forward to most?
Meeting other people, meeting others, helping out others. If anybody wants to talk to us and share our stories with them, we're there, you know. It's a lot of fun for the kids, for the families to all get together.
So 1 in 4 Canadians can be affected by liver disease. What do you hope people learn from your story, other than the love of a sister?
That you can help anybody. I mean, it's not just your family members. Just try to help anybody that needs it. You know, just go out there and become a donor. It is a scary thing, but you have to help. It's the best thing ever to know that you've given somebody the second chance of life and that they'll continue on.
And that it works. It worked for us. It does work. Living donation does work.
How complicated is the test?
For my part, it wasn't that complicated. It was first blood work, as long as we are a match. And then from there, of course, they check to see your health and so on and so forth. So I think that was my challenging part, was obviously I just had a baby and the weight, and that was a bit of a challenge, but I stuck to it, and I managed to get to where I had to get to.
Now, the liver regenerates itself.
Yes, it
Has
does.
yours regenerated?
Oh, yes.
Fully?
After a week of
a week
of my surgery, it was fully regenerated.
fully regenerated.
Yes.
Yeah.
And for myself, it was because at the time I was jaundice, and I remember like it was 2 days later, and my eyes like looked clear, and my mom said, she goes, "Your face is rosy now," because for so many years I had color. You know, everybody would say you have a tan, and she was so amazed of how I looked.
Well, thank you so much for sharing your story.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us.
If you want to learn more about the Stroll for Liver on June 2nd, you can go to liver.ca and learn how to donate, or you can actually register for the event. Joining us now in studio is Jennifer Turek, the Regional Coordinator for the Canadian Liver Foundation's GTA chapter. Jennifer, we're so glad you could join us. That was an incredible story. Why do you think it is just so important for Canadians to support liver research?
The statistic for Canadians is that 1 in 4 may be affected by liver disease. Right now, liver cancer is the fastest growing cancer in Canada, and it's because people don't often think about their liver. They don't ask their doctors to check it in a regular routine physical, and it's something that needs to be addressed. It needs to be addressed with health, with what you eat, with how you exercise. You need to really consider your liver for your well-being.
I didn't even know I could ask my doctor to check. So that's a great nugget of information. What can people expect at the Toronto Stroll for Liver?
So the stroll will begin with a professional warm-up so that everybody gets all ready to
Limber?
Right, exactly, limber. And we are having this year a running lane, which we've never had before. So people that are interested in running can run the stroll path, and people that are interested in walking have that option as well. And basically it's a 3 to 5 kilometer, depending how far you want to go, stroll with interesting facts about liver disease along the way. And it ends with a nutritious, liver-healthy lunch donated by NutriFarms. Is coming out with their food truck, and we'll have a carnival and all kinds of activities for kids.
So it's for everyone.
It's for everybody.
Excellent. So it starts at 10 a.m. June 2nd at Milliken District Park. That's at Steeles and McCowan, and people can register now.
They can register now online at liver.ca, or they can show up at the park and register right on site.
So how many people are you hoping?
We're hoping to have hundreds and hundreds, quite frankly.
And the money raised will go to?
So the money raised will go toward liver research so that doctors can continue to look into the study of liver and what's causing the different forms of liver disease.
And where is that done?
So for the most part, it's done across Canada at various hospitals across the country.
That's excellent. Okay, so the Toronto Stroll for Liver, again, you just go to liver.ca. And
You just go to liver.ca, you'll get a pop-up right there, Stroll for Liver, and it'll take you right to the site.
That's excellent. Jennifer Turek, thank you so much for joining us today, and we hope people listening and watching this will get involved and that you have a very successful day.
Thank you so much for having me.
Well, she said mystical, a powerful wonder girl.